Yeah, okay, sweet beings. This is our beautiful morning, and I'm so honored we're able to share it together. And these are my family members, and so I'm so happy. I live by myself. I was speaking about that with Barbara. So to have my family near me means so much to me, and to also have this family on the internet with me, wow. And all of us coming together, I'm so, so deeply grateful. And it's been a full moon last night. We're speaking about that with Carrie. Apparently there's some forest fires near us, and these are wild times, really, that we're in, right? This full moon is an honor to Lord Buddha. Apparently, this is although he doesn't celebrate birth or death, because really in Buddhism, we were never born, right? And we never die. But this was a full moon in honor of Lord Buddha. So I wanted Haiyan to just tell us a little story about the full moon and him before we go into our meditation. These two beings run Swan River Yoga Arabi. So it's an honor that our family's here. So thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, welcome everyone this morning. Such an honor to be here. And yesterday evening and this morning, it's still this full moon. It's called the full moon of Vishaka, which was the month of Vishaka, and it's very auspicious in the Buddhist tradition. And Buddha had some very interesting, events, and at least in the form that he took as Gautama, in the person. And this was the moon that was when he was born. And something that's so interesting about him was he was a master of nature and observing nature. And he was born under a full moon, under an open sky, and with a tree, under a tree. So these themes of nature, of full moon, of open sky, and a tree keep repeating in his life. And it's considered a very, very auspicious day in that tradition. And this is also the time when he had left to really look for a deeper solution for suffering that he felt for all beings that were, this sort of predicament that we're in. And on behalf of all of us, he was really also searching and looking. And that happened also on the same full moon as he left out under the open sky and slept that night under a tree. And then they say that the day that he awoke or woke up in sort of this, became a Buddha, which means the awakened one, also happened at the same time in the month of Vishaka, under a tree, and under a full moon in an open sky. So it's just so amazing that all of these things happen at the same time in this cyclical way, in this pattern. And when he died, when he went into Mahasamadhi, was also in the month of Vishaka, on a full moon, under a tree with his attendant in an open sky. So I think that this is such a powerful day if we can just bring that feeling in to connect with that sometimes there's really no time, and we can connect to the past and the future, and maybe we can connect to this energy that's very present, and perhaps thousands and millions of people that might be thinking the same or really using this time to really go a little bit deeper or investigate or just be present more. So I think that that's the beauty of this time. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Love to begin our meditation. So please be sure you're in a position that instills the energy that we're in right now. That you allow yourself to be aware of it. Will lift the heart and the sweetness of earnestness of even this soul desire to be alert, to be tuned in to this natural world and not so separate from it. So with eyes closed, lift the crown as though the wisdom universally has this ability to pour into you once there's conscious action in pausing and in stillness. Anchor the pelvis and the legs and feel this human body and this human experience. So we're not distracted and pulled out from our center where the spokes of the wheel keep spinning faster and faster in samsara. But actually we're getting to the very axle midpoint, going into it, running in instead of running out. Mouth closed, observe the breath and even the simple but potent teachings of the breath. Ascension and descension. Flow and ebb. Embodied in consciousness. So not just a mental meditation. The laws of impermanence, a big part of the Buddhist teachings, can be heard in the breath, and it's humbling. So even this idea, this concept, you were never born and you will never die. Even as we observe pain and suffering, or sadness, or loneliness, there's also a part to us aware of all of these things. Not running, not staying busy. And we're in the grace, the fullness of meditation to more commonly, consistently identify with the one that also deeply knows that we were never born, that we will never die. There's a part of us that is never separate. Embody this fullness as a devotional act of remembering the most important thing. A quote from Adyashanti, who Haiyan recommended to many of us to read, is the most important thing is to remember the most important thing. Here we are. respect any feeling that arises, if it's joy or fear. Go into the depth, the back of the mind. Investigate. You could even observe, there's fear. Observe it without the grip of it. Without full identification of it. Same with joy, really. Who doesn't want to grip onto joy? The same thing. Observe it. There's joy. Be careful overly identifying with it. The breath as your focal point. Whispering with simplicity the truth into you. Full like the moon. As though seated underneath a tree, which grounds you into the importance of our lives. Identify as the observer, completely steeped in nature, like Lord Buddha had been, still is. If personally you have a mantra, link it to the effulgence of your breath, or the neutrality or the emptiness of your breath, shunyata. Any suffering that arises, remain as the observer. Inquire. And still remember the most important thing. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. This is our mantra. There's 6 syllables. Om Mani Padme Hum, representing the 6 realms of the wheel of life. I was interviewing Keith yesterday on Lord Buddha's birthday. That's appropriate. She was teaching us about the human realm and the Four Noble Truths, the nature of suffering. And we are in the human realm. Allow us to have great compassion for that. And actually, in the way she described it, I kind of liked the sound of the human realm. As difficult as it can sometimes be. Honor your humanness and this human experience. Om Mani Padme Hum. Sing with me when you can. Allow this day to be effulgent, like the moon was last night. Hum Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. the most valuable of all gems, formidable, indestructible, eternal. It doesn't experience pain, but it sees it. The jewel of the lotus, 1,008 petaled, within the wisdom, the all-seeing of the heart. A beautiful reminder to do every morning, to recite it, to listen to it, to have it constantly playing in your home. So I want to thank also Haiyan and Laura for all of their work that they do, seva and selfless service. It's bodhisattva work. It's what you do when you're like, now that I'm present, what do I do? I serve. And that's what these beings do. This is their whole life mission. So I want to thank them. And I also want to thank Carrie, who's with us today, because Carrie and Rebecca, so thanking them both, they have extended their home to me also here as I've moved here and lived by myself in Florida. And I'm able to be in Uru, Gulf Breeze, and Pensacola all the time. And I find everyone there to also be my family members. And I'm so grateful. So thank you to Carrie, Rebecca, to Haiyan, and to Laura. Thank you. Thank you. And love if Laura offered us a mantra as well. That would be super sweet. Thank you, Laura.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle. Good morning. This is a mantra that I sing pretty much every morning. It's a prayer for relationships and community. And I think many of us are spending a lot more time with our family these days. And even if we're in isolation completely, that we're remembering our larger community. And that's why we're doing these things. It's actually an act of compassion to be staying at home, to be honoring each other, to be doing the thing that's best for the greater whole. So I know we don't have chant books, and this is a little bit of a longer chant. I'll offer you very quickly the English translation. This prayer is asking us to be accepted, all of us together, protected, and that we may not resent or quarrel with one another, and that all of our strength and knowledge collectively, not just for some, increases. And so may we all preserve our community and our relationships as sacred.
Do you have a phone so I can keep track of time? Okay, sorry. Thank you. Thank you. Sadhana Bhavatu. Sadhana Bhavatu.
Thank you to all of us for being in our extended community. Thank you to Michelle for helping to create such a stable and compassionate group of individuals who form a family. And may we work to preserve these relationships, to support one another, to do what is kind.
Supporting one another. Yay. Yeah. Yes. Support those you live with. If you live with yourself, please reach out to others. I have students reach out to me all the time, and I actually love it. And I love it because I too live by myself, and I love to connect. So you can always reach out to me. I absolutely adore it. Let's support one another. We'll hold on to our knees. Begin to rotate the torso so you can wake up the spine a little bit on this sweet morning that Carrie told us there was forest fires near us last night. My goodness. This material world is always changing. What in the world is going on? What is happening in this globe, right? Always changing. Wow. One way that I see this opportunity, in speaking to Keith yesterday, we had a live podcast and we talked about the kleshas. And the kleshas are afflictions that we impose upon ourselves. That's weird. Why do we do that, Ainsley? And Jean? And Carrie? Why do we inflict upon ourselves these patterns? So we'll reverse. And then we kind of had a aha moment in our interview. With this, the kleshas have a pretty big chance of arising on a deeper level, personally, within each of us. Because there's a lot more time and space for many of us, not everybody, So the subconscious might be arriving with each day. But wow, it's also because we're reducing so much and we're not so pulled out and distracted. It's such an incredible time to break the chains. It's like we decided it's klesha busting time. This is klesha buster pandemic. So we're releasing each klesha, each discordant pattern within us. We could see it as that and ask for that each morning as something arises. May I, at the end of this day, have had more resolve with each discordance within me. Klesha busting. We'll come back to center, and then we'll inhale, we'll lift the heart and lift the throat. So still initiate it all from the spine and drop down. Inhale, lift the heart and head. Just warming up the sweetness of the spine so there's more clarity for this day. And some of us are actually in Europe, so there's more clarity too as you close off your evening and as you bring resolve to your day, like having actually processed something today. So it's just one step, one klesha, one small imprint at a time. It's a pretty amazing chance in which to do so if we see that as a window of opportunity. We'll do one more. Inhale, lift the heart, and then exhale down. So we're warming up the spine. So back to center. Then the fun Kundalini exercise, again, that Steph taught me that I love. So thumbs down, fingers covering the thumbs. You'll inhale left and exhale right. And you're going to go at your own pace. You can go fast or slow. If I go super fast, I'll get dizzy and I won't be able to talk. So I'm going to go slow, but invigorate the nervous system. Initiated from the spine. Inhale left, exhale right. And I like to picture the spine is a tree. So like the tree that Lord Buddha sat under, which I've seen, it's near Varanasi. It's right outside of Varanasi in India. And to feel that this tree of life is actually in your spine as well. That the nadis are all branching out from this tree of life of you, igniting you, electrifying you. And these currents, this circuitry is cleansing out deep imprints that are unconscious that get us to sometimes act in ways that we're baffled by as humans. Why do I say that? Why am I responding like this today during this global awakening? And allow it to arise. And this conscious work we're doing to ignite us even further, to enliven us. And also it's humbling. The amount of compassion you can hold in your body right now is increasing. And the Dalai Lama has stated this is the most powerful of all energies on the planet, is compassion. So slow down. And then we'll come back to center and ground yourself. So hold onto the knees and lift the heart, lift the crown. So it's like this presence, this gesture of, this is how I will approach each situation today or each feeling, with total respect, nobility. We spoke to this yesterday. Nobility isn't this hierarchy of betterness. It's more of this softening into this interior of you. This inner nobility, this inner dignity, this respect for life, We'll interlace the fingers, and then we'll bring the arms in front. Open up the back of the heart. And then inhale, reach up. So arms get straight and lifted. Pull the palms up to the sky. Open up into the big yes. On this day, what arises, I will do my best as a human. I'm living in the human realm. And unless some of you aren't, I might be mistaken. Some of you might be demigods and gods. So please forgive me if I didn't notice. But actually, the God realm we spoke of in the Wheel of Life can lend itself to a lot of complacency. And we are here as caring beings. That, to me, I would prefer that. So we'll lift the heart, squeeze the arms towards each other, get tall and lifted and vibrant. And that location, the loka of Om Mani Padme Hum. Inhale. And then exhale, we're going to extend the arms straight out. So palms are going to face each other. I'll drop my arms, and Haiyan and Laura are going to do it. So open the heart and lift and hold the heart consciousness as something incredibly valuable and precious and dear within you. And feel that spreading of the chest is also your capacity to, even doing your individual practice, it's not really isolated and individuated. You're still spreading a tremendous amount of consciousness in everything that you think, say, and do right now. And humans might even be more sensitive right now to feeling your thoughts and your imprints if a lot of us are reducing, if a lot of us are being still and we're not as busy. So we could have a really huge impact on the planet by the things that we're growing within us habitually right now during this global awakening, during this klesha busting time. So spread the heart. This very gesture to me is the shape of busting out of the kleshas. In the palms, what you're receiving is life force, the life force that we all share. It's unified. And when we activate compassion, there's a remembrance of interconnection that in the end, and I've had my days too, there's just no possible way that you're alone ever. And it's important that we support each other when one of us is feeling like that we also reach out and we understand and that we care. So we're the ones providing hope for this planet right now. Taking it responsibility, accountability for that. Inhale deeply. Are your arms still up? They better be. I can't see everyone. Okay, I busted you, Barbara. Inhale. And then exhale, bring the hands in prayer. And a sweet Om in unity. Inhale. So let's all make a vow, all of us here together, that we're going to do our best today as humans, most of us, I think, in the human realm, to remember the most important thing. I'm going to do my best too in this human body. Have a gorgeous day or evening for those of you in the Czech Republic or France or Spain. We love you all. It's amazing what we've gathered here as a collective. This is a gorgeous collaboration. Thank you. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Om Om. Yay. We love you.
Thank you.